I would like to encourage everyone to take their seats. Today we run on French time, not Italian time. How do I change the slides from here? From here, how do I change the slides? Oh, maybe.
Cecile is going to do it because there's the...
Well, buongiorno a tutti. Bonjour. Good morning, everyone. My name's John Prescott, and it is my honour and privilege today to be the moderator, the chair of these talks that are on behalf of the Louis Bonduelle Foundation. I don't need to read out my background there, but as I say, it's my background is in food preferences, and we're going to hear some talks this morning, 4 talks from scientists who are going to be talking about a variety of very interesting and different aspects of the basis of food preferences. Now, each speaker will be talking for about 25 minutes, and then there will be a few minutes for questions. And so I encourage you, please, to ask questions. I'm sure you'll find it interesting and there'll be things you want to know. So please feel free, feel relaxed to ask any questions you can. Can I remind you, please, to turn off anything that would disturb the speakers, so your cell phone or your tablet, any small children, you could turn them off, anything that's disturbing. Thank you very much. Now, my first task is to introduce the president of the Bonduelle Group. Unfortunately, not in person. This is the first time, as you probably know, that this meeting has been outside of France, and the chairman, the president, was not able to come today. But Christophe Bonduelle will be speaking via a film, and so I ask you to sit back, relax, and see what the president of the Bonduelle Foundation has to say.
Good morning and welcome to the 8th Louis Bonduelle Foundation Conference. I'm glad to open this first session in Italy, where our foundation has been active for over 10 years. It is also the first time that we organize this event outside of France. Through its corporate foundation, the Bonduelle Group is committed to the sustainable improvement of eating behaviors, because nowadays, and everywhere in Europe, public health issues related to food have never been so important. Eating behavior is a vast and fascinating subject. We are happy to share this passion with you during this conference day dedicated to sciences as drivers of food choices. Our enthusiasm is even greater since the prestigious University of Florence and its representatives have given us the great honor of hosting this conference and giving us their support. On behalf of all members of the Louis Bonduelle Foundation, I would like to thank them and all speakers for their involvement and their passion in sharing their experience today. I wish you all a pleasant and exciting conference. We are lucky to have such talent present, and I'm sorry not to be here and not to be there in Florence today. So thank you for being there and enjoy.
And now, as you know, this beautiful room is part of the University of Florence. And I would now like to introduce to the stage Professor Elisabetta Cerbai, who is acting on behalf of the university to provide a welcome to you all.
Buongiorno a tutti, è veramente un piacere per me.
Good morning to all of you. For me, it's a real pleasure to be here this morning to give my welcome at the first Congress, the first meeting of the Bonduelle Foundation outside France, as you have heard. And it's an honor that the University of Florence in this great hall has been chosen for this first meeting. I've followed this project with enthusiasm together with my colleague, Professor Monteleone, who's been with the Bonduelle Foundation since last year. This is an ambitious project, that of having this morning's meeting of the Louis Bonduelle Foundation. It was based on some important messages that the Foundation wishes to communicate to society in general, and it has an important correspondence in the University of Florence, the importance of research, but not only research as such, but research that is able to cross disciplinary frontiers, that of research in life sciences, in agriculture, in sociology, psychology, economics, regarding health. It's the skills that the young people, the many young people here present today, and they are a testimonial of this will to engage in research which has no disciplinary boundaries, and it is a motor in which Europe must move. So it's a privilege for a foundation like the Louis Bonduelle and the University of Florence are here together to bear witness to this research. The will to educate. The first mission of the university, which is adopted by the foundations, is not just the will to convey information, but the will to enable the young people and researchers to bring out the best in them. And the third is this mission, that of increasing the awareness of choices in the food sector in society. This is a difficult mission, made more difficult by the economic, financial, and social dimensions that are rather worrying in our continent. And it makes those who, like the universities and foundations, have this responsibility for increasing this culture of food choices, dietary choices. I think this presence of the Bonduelle Foundation in Florence, and I really hope that this will be able to continue over time. I think it is important to give continuity to a project of this kind, because it creates a sense of community, Italian community, not just Florentine, in the community of researchers and scientists at a European level in all disciplines, to continue speaking this common language and to create a common speech on this interdisciplinary subject. I will remain with you for the whole of this morning. I'm happy to be able to listen, because I'm curious, as all researchers are, a series of extremely interesting presentations that we will hear. There are completely new and deserve to be listened to. I'm sure that you too will find the same this morning and this afternoon. This will be a memorable occasion. So I thank once again Professor Prescott for this opportunity, and as I have been informed, I have the pleasure of leaving the floor to Dr. Laurent Desplaisés, who will continue the rest of the presentation. Thank you all again.
Grazie, Professor Chebe. And now I'd like to introduce Laurence Desplaisés from the Bonduelle Foundation, and she's going to give you some background on the foundation itself.
Buongiorno a tutti, sono Laurence Desplaisés, sono nutrizionista.
My name is Laurent Desplaisés. I'm a nutritionist and I'm a member of the board of directors of the Louis Bonduelle Foundation. I'm very happy to introduce to you this very day by presenting the scopes and activities of the foundation. But I'm really sorry, but this is all I can say in Italian, so I will proceed in English.
Da adesso parlerò in inglese. Well, in the early 2000s, there were many health public programs regarding the promotion of good health habits around Europe and also around the world. And these public health programs were much more about consumption of fruit and vegetables. As a company, Bonduelle is dealing with vegetables, as you might probably know. And we found a few years later that the people were aware about this information and the good effects of fruit and vegetables on health. But it was very difficult for them to put the vegetables into their plates. So we thought at that time it was a big issue, and we wanted to find out a way to promote the consumption and also to better understand the food behaviors regarding consumption of fruit and vegetables. And then the group decided to launch this foundation, which is the Louis Bonduelle Foundation, dealing with many food habits. So, as it has been said before, the foundation has already 10 years of action, and all these actions are taking part all around Europe and also around the world. The foundation exists in Italy, in France, in Belgium, the Netherlands, in Spain, soon in Portugal, and also in Canada and the United States. It was launched in 2004 in France, and it operates in Italy since 2005. So today we are celebrating the 10th anniversary of the foundation in Italy. During these 10 years, we have focused our activities around 3 pillars. One is financing research in different ways, and I'm going to develop a little. And then the other one is by disseminating information and then supporting field initiatives. Field initiatives because we strongly believe that beyond information, it is key, it is really fundamental to propose to populations ways to take action. Regarding the research, at the moment, we have distributed over 1 million euros for the purpose of supporting research. And we also have awarded 17 research awards. You will have the opportunity to see some of them this afternoon. So this afternoon you will have a talk of the winner of the 2013 Research Award, and then you will know the new one, the happy new one, who is going to receive the award. So some examples. The Louis Bonduelle Research Award is something that might interest a lot of you here, because I see lots of young people. And this is for PhD students or first-year postdoc. And it is aimed at facilitating the research works. It's a prize of 10,000 euros, and it's in different fields regarding food and food behaviors. And you will see this afternoon that the fields are really, really, really large. It's an international award, and we have some candidates coming from all over the world. The president of the jury will tell you this. Then we are also actually financing a PhD award on food waste and nutrition. This is a work that is hosted by the chair of UNESCO Unit Within at Montpellier in France, and it's about food in the world. This is a work that had begun just this year in January. Another example of what we do with supporting research, we have a very long partnership with the European Childhood Obesity Group. And beyond the research award, we are at the moment launching an e-book that is on free access and dedicated to practitioners and to pediatricians, medical doctors, or researchers on the topic of childhood obesity and teenager obesity. If you go on the site of ECOG at the moment, the English version is available, and there will be translation in different languages. Then about information and awareness, we have a website that exists in 4 languages. It exists in Italian, but also in English, French, Dutch, and Spanish. And these sites provide information for scientists in one side and also for general public. We launch monographs every year, and the 2 last ones, one is on nutrition, about vitamin C, and another one on food waste. We participate in different kind of congresses, scientific congresses, and the next one will be held in Berlin in October, and it's the European Nutrition Conference. And we are going to present a poster in this conference. About the action in the field, we are working on 2 sides. First one is to launch our own actions, and we have done 12 actions since the beginning of the foundation, and these actions are in different countries as well. And this afternoon you will have an example of one that is in process in Italy. The last realization we made was is still in progress, an action with elderly people. And the thing is that we would like to help these people to keep the will of eating by having pleasure. Then we have launched the calls for proposals, and this is something very important because in 2007 we found that we had so many demands for funding, and we were not organized at that moment, and we decided to launch these calls for proposal. And since then we have had more than 1,000 proposals or candidates received, and we have funded 200 actions. These actions are usually aimed at very specific population, and we chose topics, and we continue to choose topics because otherwise there are so many people who need their help. It's not possible to give money to everyone, and it's not possible to make choices for everyone. So we decided to change the topics every six months. We will have the opportunity to listen today also to two of these funded actions. One is going to be presented by Professor Monteleon during the morning, and another one this afternoon by Cristina Scarpa. And this is one that is launched in a school for children. Then I would like to thank myself, the University of Florence, and Professor Elisabetta Cerbai to have given us the opportunity to run this conference in this wonderful place. I would also like to thank the sensory team of the University of Florence because they have actively disseminated the invitation of this conference, and all your presence here is the proof of that. And eventually, I would like also to thank the Italian Society for Sensory Science, who helped us actively in organizing an attendance. It was very important for us because today it's the first time in 8 editions that the conference takes place in Italy. Then to finish with, I am just reminding the program. This morning you will have some talks from scientific person in different fields, very complementary. And this afternoon, different information about what is going on in Italy regarding the foundation. And now I will leave the floor to John Prescott. And thank you very much for your attention.